Stargazers Salvation is one of my top books of this year so far. And so I wanted to bring a little bit more awareness to this book since it is indie published in hopes to help the author get the book out there, get the word out there, but also because I really love it and I want you guys to read it too so you guys can love it too. So let's just jump into it. So in this book we follow Tara. She is a princess that was actually disowned, so she's no princess no more, and she got invited to go into this military academy where she's going to be studying for a couple of years, and in the end, in her 4th year of this academy, she's going to have to choose a faction to be a part of. So think of Divergent and their factions, and each faction houses people with specific personalities and traits that do specific work and stuff. It's kind of like that, but you don't just choose it, it has to choose you too and accept you too. So in this academy, she meets 2 of her best friends, and a 3rd friend that she really has a big crush on, okay? These 2 main friends are her found family. 100% they are her people because her family, her mother specifically, have abandoned her and have mistreated her for most of her life. So she hates them. I hate her too. And she has actual trauma, anxiety, and panic attacks due to everything that she went through there, but it also affects her and how she views herself. And this is important and relevant in the book. Her father, on the other hand, he has disappeared and he's basically been declared dead. So the book kind of gives you a little bit of introduction around the time she goes into this school, but it kind of jumps ahead into the beginning of the 4th year, the year they have to choose their faction. And so we see her life in this academy and how she interacts with other people, how other people interact with her relationships with her friends, and also acquaintances and other people in the academy. And you also have that other crush that she has, and he's one of the main side characters, and he's kind of shifty, right? He goes back and forth and been really wanting to be with her and not wanting to be with her, and there's a lot going on his side as well. We also get introduced to another character who's going to be one of her instructors that she starts to, have a nice relationship with, and also might be a male interest. Okay, so we have a little bit of a love triangle here. And yeah, before I move along, let me give you a little bit of context of the world, okay? So in this world, people are living in all the planets in our solar system. You basically have the Andromeda galaxy, and the various solar systems in this galaxy have different creatures in them. So our solar system is a human one. You have one with fae, one with demons and whatnot. So this is mainly central to the human one. So basically we have colonies in all of the different planets. So from Mercury to all the way to Pluto, we have different colonies in different planets. Each of them have their own traits. So you have their own specific cultures, the way they specifically dress, their buildings and constructions, but also their fauna and flora. They're all very particular to each planet. And the people themselves also, the personalities, the type of person you're going to get depends on where planet they come from, basically. Now, Tara is the daughter of the queen of this whole solar system, okay? The queen that manages all of this. And they worship the goddess Sol, aka the sun goddess. And everyone has a little bit of magic in them. So magic, technically, in most cases, is very minute. So it's only specific traits. Most people can have augmented hearing or vision or taste, things like that. It's very subtle in most people, but everyone has a little bit of soul in them. Tara doesn't. Tara is born soulless. She has no soul, no power, nothing. And so because of that, she is always been ostracized and mistreated by her mother. And for her mother, she's basically the biggest mistake. She should have never been born in. Her mother hates her from day one. And we get this on the fucking prelude. We get this on the first freaking chapter, okay? The beginning of the book. So we see a lot of her life in the academy, but we also see the psychological factor of this. She's always been mistreated. She's always been abandoned by her family. She's always suffered in the hands of everyone else. She's always been judged, and everyone mistreats her and treats her like crap because she used to be a princess. She's now fallen, so everyone in the academy treats her like shit, basically. And we see the effects it has on her mental health. This is a factor that I really enjoy in books. I don't think a lot of books give this importance to the trauma and to the mental aspect of things. We all have anxiety. A lot of books portray FMCs these hyper not anxious girls, or they have a little bit of anxiety, but it's never full on panic attack. It's never full on I actually need someone else's help because I'm suffering. Or if it is, it's very lightly put into the book. You don't actually have the real experience of it. And as someone that has experienced these things, it was very realistic and very just very interesting for me to see. Personally, I really enjoyed that factor, we start to also uncover that there's a lot more going in the background that she's not really aware of. There's other powers at play. There's people that are lying. There's people that are holding secrets, and the secrets keep changing, and it just keeps taking you through twists and twists and twists. And we start to understand as well the politics of this world, and it starts to kick in a little bit, where we start to understand that the queen is trying to do something and involves Tara, and we don't know what this something is or what she's trying to achieve, but we know that something is happening, and the queen doesn't want her to do specific things in the academy, which Tara doesn't give a shit about. Thank the Lord, I love her. But we see that there's something is wrong, and something is happening in the kingdom. Like, the kingdom is not doing great. So we see other powers at play, and also we start hearing about a rebellion, how like there's a rebellion here and there, whatever, and they might try to get to her. So the attempts on her life start to happen. She starts being attacked and being targeted, and we don't know by whom. We just know these things start to happen, and we don't know who's the good guys, who's the bad guys. We think we know who the bad guys are, but we don't. And in the end, there was a plot twist. I kind of saw it coming from the start of the book, to be fair, but I loved it. I liked everything about it, but it also leaves us with no answers, which honestly, like, I liked it. Don't get me wrong, I want the next book ASAP, but I liked it. So we get a little bit of everything in this book. We also understand that there's depth to it, right? There's a lot going on in the background that we don't know yet as readers, even after finishing the book. And I like that because it shows that the background story exists. It shows that there's world building. It shows that there's a lot more at play than what we're just getting from her POV. And I really like that. I really, really do, because it means that the story is complex. It's not just a simplistic story and that's been told multiple times in the past. Yes, it has a lot of tropes that are very common, yes, but like the story itself is unique and is different. And I really like that about it. So I kind of want to give you guys my thoughts about it, but it's really hard doing it without spoiling it for you. Okay, so I'm going to give you a little bit of a rundown on like what I think is the good parts of this book, why I enjoyed it so much. Okay, first of all, we have the writing. The writing for me was impeccable. From the start of the entire thing, I loved the writing. I remember being at 10%, stopping, pausing, and thinking, God damn it, this is so well written. I've been reading a lot of different books from different types of genres, but also like types authors, if they're indie or traditionally published or whatever it is. I've been reading a lot of everything, and this is such a well-written book, especially like if you have in consideration that it is an indie book. Honestly, it's better written and reviewed than a lot of traditionally published books. Like, I've seen traditionally published books that are written so badly and have so many spelling mistakes, have so many issues, and this one is so well written. I absolutely love everything. I love the way she writes, like her prose, everything is just beautiful. I adored it. Like, from the start, that's the first thing I'm gonna say. It's awesome. Amazing. I also like the way she tells the story. So she leaves things for you to slowly build up. She leaves breadcrumbs here and there for you to like pick up here and there, and start piecing things together. She also doesn't lay the like world building and the magical system and the history on you like that. A lot of people have the habit of doing that on fantasy books, and like in the beginning they'll just hammer you with information and you get lost. Honestly, you do get lost. In this book, she doesn't do that. She tells you the story very slowly. So you begin to get to know the character and get to know her friends, get to know a little bit about the world. But then naturally, throughout the story that we read, she starts to tell you a little bit more about how the magical system works, and also how like there's also bonds, different types of bonds and fated myths and stuff like that. So you also get explanations to those. You get explanations to each of the factions. But as she's getting to learn a bit about them and how as she is explaining them, right? You also start to know about the planets a little bit later in the book as well. It's very digestible. It's done very slowly, but in a way that doesn't affect your enjoyment of the book, and you don't feel like you're missing context until you get the context and you start building upon that. So I think it was very well planned out, and the story was told in a very like sensible way, I guess, like when it comes to all of that context, because sometimes it's just a gut punch and you just figure it out. Fucking it, like just figure it out. You should already know before you start reading the book. And in this book, she really explains everything very nicely to us. When it comes to the characters, I think they're very well developed. I think they're pretty complex and interesting characters. They all have their different personalities. They all have their different origins and backstories. Her best friend, I swear to you, her best friend, there's something shady going on with her, I'm telling you. And also her love interests, they're also like very interesting and very different people. But just the relationships between the characters and the characters themselves is so well built, it's so well developed, it's very intricate. You see a lot of it. It's not just very shallow. I do think sometimes we get really shallow characters or side characters that don't even matter. I read a book recently that I'm thinking right now, like, everything was very shallow. The story was nice and overall I had fun, but like it was really, really, really shallow. Like like you could dip your toes in the water but nothing else. And in this case, no, like every character is well developed. They have their own wants and needs and personality traits and everything, and you don't have those characters that are just like the disposable best friend, you know. In this case, no, they're all very well developed. Even like characters that you don't even need to think too much about them, they have backstory. It's really interesting. I really like it. The magical system, like I explained to you guys, I find it very interesting, but we still don't know a lot about it. So we know how it like generally works, but you'll understand if you read the book. By the end, you'll understand why we don't know that much about it yet. So there's a lot for us to uncover, and this is also valid for the politics of this book. So it's starting to introduce us to the politics, but in a very digestible way, but also with the rebellion in the mix. Like we're starting to piece things together, but there's a lot of, like, when I tell you there's a lot of secrets and a lot of stuff that just is left open at the end of this book. It's so fucking amazing. I know it sounds kind of counterintuitive because we want to know everything all the time, but I really like it when it's like this because it means that there's a lot more to build. There's like backstory that we need still to grasp, and it gets me questioning and it stays in my mind. It's like a little worm in my mind, in my brain, wanting to know more and just waiting for the next book. Yeah, I do think we're going to go more into the politics side in the second book. Not that it's going to be the main focus, but I do think we're going to get a lot more context, a lot more of like understanding how everything works in that side. It's just like where I think the story will naturally go to. But yeah, I don't want to like repeat myself too much, but it's just a really nice book. I enjoyed myself so much. It had me hooked. It had so many twists and turns and so many like complexities to the characters. And the way it ended, oh my god, I love it so much. Like I love it so much, but oh my god, I want to know. I want to know what happens next. I have so many questions. So yeah, like it was just such an amazing book, and I'm so happy for it. It's honestly, it was an automatic 5-star reads. If you've been watching anything of mine online, you'll know that I rarely ever give 5 stars. 5 stars is really hard for me. It needs to like really go to my core and make me think about it and really just love it so much. And I know it's becoming a little bit easier for me, but in this case, like it was an automatic 5 stars. I knew from the start that this was either going to be 5 or 4 stars, and it did not disappoint. Not a single second of it was disappointing to me. I loved every single little bit of it. I'm going to leave everything linked down below, where you can find the book, where you can find the author on TikTok. That's where I found her. I'll leave everything linked down below. As soon as I'm back from my trip, I'm going to buy the physical copy. Like I'm telling you, it's gonna be one of my birthday gifts for myself. It's gonna be the physical copy because I'm in love with it and I want it. I want the physical copy of this book. So yeah, if you read it, let me know. If you do read it in the future or you add it to your TBR, also let me know. And after you read it, come back to the video and let me know what you thought, or at least like, I don't know, message me on TikTok. Like let me know in the comments on TikTok, anywhere in my socials, because I'd love to have other people to talk to about this book. It's such an amazing one, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next week. Bye.